Hey there, Coach Bree here with Best Swim Ever. Today I'm going to talk about one of the most common struggles that I get from triathletes who are rock stars at running or cycling. And this question I get all the time. It's, Coach Bree, I could just run forever, but when I get in the water, I'm completely out of breath after just one length. It doesn't make any sense. This is a very common challenge that I see with runners and cyclists who are also triathletes. So not only is this difference confusing, but it can affect the athlete's confidence when they don't see their fitness in one area carry over to the other areas. So I'm here to tell you that this is actually a very common struggle, and there's a few reasons for it. So first, you're in a different environment. You're in a body of water where there's less gravity. If you're doing freestyle, you're actually face down in a prone position. Anytime you're in a different situation, or automatically you kind of get adrenaline pumping, and that means that your breath is gonna kind of shorten up anyway. So just being aware of that reaction will definitely help. The other big difference from running and cycling to swimming is that you're actually using very different muscle groups primarily. So running and cycling are very leg heavy, whereas swimming is very upper body heavy. And so the efficiency that you have built up through running and cycling and those lower body muscles, it's very different when you try to transition that to your upper body. And the third difference is that in cycling and running, you don't have to think about when you're getting your next breath. You can just breathe very rhythmically. It comes very easily. You're just surrounded by air. These differences are actually a good thing because you can use these differences when you build up your endurance and your fitness on one thing. They actually can carry over into the other disciplines. So even if right now your running fitness isn't connecting with your swimming, once you figure out how to make your engine work in swimming the same way as you can in running, your fitness that you've built up in one will definitely spill over into the other. So in the meantime, here's a few tips that'll help you out. Is first, stay as calm and relaxed as possible when you're in the water. Second, try to mimic your running and or cycling breathing rhythm as much as possible when you're in the water. So take long, deep breaths where you're never fully inhaled or never fully exhaled. And make sure you're not pausing anywhere in your breath cycle. You want to be constantly in that cycle just like you are in running or cycling. Third, there's this concept of base miles, right? Where you put in, especially early season or off season, you put in a lot of miles that are all at a very easy pace. And you're doing that because you're trying to build your oxygen usage, utilization, and efficiency at that, easier intensity. So then when you start to pick it up, when you get in season, you already have that foundation of efficiency built. You're building up on top of it, right? So the same thing applies to swimming, where you're just doing a lot of long, easy yards or meters or miles. So just make sure your focus is finding and maintaining that deep rhythmic breath. So that should be your number one focus, because that's the foundation for everything you're gonna build on top of it. So do those base miles, really focusing on finding that rhythm where you feel like you could just swim forever without losing your breath. Many experienced athletes have struggles just like this. Like, I have coached people who have done Ironmans who still have some of these struggles where their running or cycling fitness isn't quite carrying over to swimming, and they aren't sure why. It's really hard to understand that something that seems so simple that you often don't even think about in cycling or running really affects you in swimming. Everything in swimming always comes back to the breath. Once you have the breath nailed down, you can start building technique on top of it. If you're still struggling to master this, if you're still kind of figuring out the breath, I've got a 3-week training program that I'm launching this week. And it's called Breathe Easier, Swim Farther. It's just gonna give you everything you need to know about breathing technique and efficiency, so you can really just set that foundation that you can build your efficiency, your speed, your freestyle, your swimming power on top of it. Please go to www.bestswimever.com/BESF to get more information. And if you have any questions, of course, I'll help you out. But thanks so much. Have a great day.